Well, over the past 2 days, we've given you a glimpse of some of the important roles the U.S. Navy serves in protecting America. And perhaps the most visible symbol of the Navy's strength is the aircraft carrier. In our final installment of Valor at Sea, we had the privilege of flying out to sea and spending more than a day on board USS George Washington. Here's a look at our journey. Our adventure begins with a flight out to the ship on a C-2A Greyhound, known as the Cod.
We got our cranial protection, we have our life preservers, and we are getting ready to board the Greyhound and head out to the USS George Washington.
Landing safely on an aircraft carrier that's in motion on the water is dangerous. So we mentally prepared for the experience of what's called an arrested landing, or a trap.
I thought I was gonna get sick for a second. I got real scared, and then you hit the catch and it's over, and it was like relief. It was not eager to do it again.
Was it stronger than you expected?
Way stronger than I expected. Yeah, it was. I'll never forget it.
We were welcomed on board by the officers and sailors proudly serving with USS George Washington, one of 10 Nimitz-class aircraft carriers in the Navy's fleet.
One of the great things about this is the entire world sees it as the importance and the significance of U.S. strength being exercised abroad to show that we are a global force, and we are there to support our allies.
It wasn't long before we found ourselves in the middle of the action.
We're on the flight deck of the USS George Washington, and what pilots are doing right now is they're actually doing takeoff and landing exercises here on the ship. They're getting caught by that wire that helps the plane stop. And what is going on right now is the entire ship's crew, they're actually undergoing a lot of training right now. This is part of an 18-day underway out to sea off the coast of Virginia, and it's all in preparation for an upcoming deployment to Japan.
On the flight deck, sailors wearing a rainbow of colored jerseys safely guide student F-18 pilots, working in concert, using hand signals to communicate each step. And the flight training isn't just during the day. Crews worked late into the night. Below decks, the ship's passageways lit in red for night operations. Regardless of the time of day, thousands of sailors keep the ship running, a small city on the water, constantly humming with activity.
That's really what we do aboard an aircraft carrier. We can go anywhere in the world with 85 combat aircraft and really achieve our nation's objectives. But we have to be self-sufficient. So we've got our own dental department, our own medical department. We cook thousands of meals every day for all of our sailors. But yeah, everybody has their own little piece of the puzzle to sustain the warship. This is the end result, the flight deck and the pilots landing and recovering, but it takes 3,000 people all doing their individual job to make this floating city at sea work.
In 2024, USS George Washington will deploy to Japan, with the thousands of sailors on board ready to put their training from these underways to the test, serving America almost 7,000 miles away from home.
Our Sailor for a Day program has come to an end. We have spent more than 24 hours on board the USS George Washington, getting to meet the sailors here, learning about their lives and learning about how the U.S. Navy and the crew on board this ship are getting ready and preparing to respond to any situation that they might need to. Reporting from the USS George Washington somewhere in the Atlantic Ocean, Renata Steele, WENY News.